you.
Lindsey Jean is from the Redlands, California area originally, and I'm from that area, so I know the area well, and I know where kind of she lives or has lived in the past and worked. Thank you so much for making it here.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming, and thank you for having me. None of you look familiar. Have you guys seen me speak before? You have.
I think here.
2 years ago,
Yep.
2.5 years ago. Okay, so that was actually the last time I spoke. It's really cool. So I don't know exactly how we got connected. Is
Linda at the office.
what's that? Oh, was it
At
Linda?
the pizza place.
Oh yeah. So I first met Dan a few years, 4 years ago.
Might be all.
When he was holding these meetings in a pizza place upstairs on the second story. And I'd been doing real estate for, I guess, about 9 years at that time. And I think I reached out to you and said, hey, can I come talk to you? I had just gotten into the speaking niche, and go talk to Riaz. I'm like, can I come talk for you? And he's like, yeah, but you probably don't want to. And I had like 10 people come, and we're upstairs at a pizza place. And I'm like, that's okay. And it was amazing, and I think we had 12 people come, and I think 8 of the people that were there and actually started working with me and investing with me and have done really well. So I loved it. And so I came back again 2 years ago, June, and you were there, and nobody else was there. That's okay. I'm glad you're here now. And I did this speaker thing for a long time, probably about 2.5 years, and then it kind of after the last time I spoke here, I kind of decided to not speak as much. It's really time consuming, and as much as I enjoy helping people, it was taken away from my normal business. So I'm really happy to be back here again, and I probably also won't be speaking very much. I just kind of feel partial to Dan in this group because Santa Barbara is really different and unique, and so I'm glad to be here. Another cool thing, so I call my product Cash Cow. Know how I'm referred to as the single mom. My secrets to finding fast cash, finding deals. I'm no longer a single mom. I got married last Saturday, so my 1-week anniversary. And what's even funner was him and we started dating 2 weeks after I was here last. So it's just kind of funny. We're all back here again. So in our time together today, you're going to learn how to get at least one fat check in the next 30 days or less. Who likes quick cash? Right? We've all seen real estate and it feels like it takes forever. So we're going to be talking about quick cash. We're also going to be talking about how to get deals chasing you, not you chasing the deals. Another problem I see a lot of investors doing is they're frantically trying to find deals and they're using a lot of time and it feels exhausting. Having cash buyers fighting to give you their money for deals. I have too many cash buyers, and I'm actually going to give you guys opportunities to work with some cash buyers. I also do it all on autopilot part-time from home. So if you have another job, that's totally okay. You can incorporate this into what you're doing. If you like your job, you can just do it as another stream of income. If you hate your job and don't want to do it anymore, you can lean into this. This is totally customizable to you, what you want to do, how much money you want to make. So you guys brought notepads, right? I recommend taking notes because I'm going to deliver a lot of really good information that you guys can take home and implement today to start generating cash. So these are the 5 quick and easy steps. The first one is you're going to be building a team of bird dog agents. We're going to go through the specifics of all these. The second one is analyzing the deals that they find for you. The third one is submitting the yes offers. Fourth is deciding which buyer gets the deal. And then the fifth is assigning the contract for quick cash. So what if you could have the gym body, the curvy figure, without having to diet, go to the gym, work out, all the stuff that goes along with having that ideal body? Like you take a little pill and you have it. Like we would all want that, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've done in this real estate system today that you're going to hear about is it's all done for you so that you don't have to do all the hard work, all the years I put into learning what did work and what didn't work. I'm kind of giving it to you guys on a silver platter today. But first, you need to program your mind for success. Eliminate any negativity, absolutely no excuses, stop complaining, start acting, take action in command of your destiny, act smarter, not harder, use a proven system. I know you guys have heard some of this before, right? So a little bit about my childhood. It wasn't all perfect. When I was 5, my parents took me to a psychologist and they diagnosed me with ADHD. Is there anybody in the room that was told they had that as a child?
My daughter.
And they thought the best course of action was to heavily medicate me, and they changed my medications every couple of years. They duct taped my mouth. I was constantly told there was something wrong with me. I was bad. When I was 15, my parents ended up getting to a point of in which they said they were tired of dealing with me, and they shipped me off to a boarding school. And in order to get me to the boarding school, they hired what are called escorts, which are off-duty police officers, who handcuffed me and took me through an airport to get me to Idaho. And it was a lockdown facility. I wasn't a bad kid. I wasn't doing anything wrong. My parents and I just saw very differently eye to eye. So I pretty much grew up my entire childhood by the two people that should think I'm great and wonderful and support me and tell me when I'm doing right. I was told almost every day that who I was and what I was doing was wrong. I was told I would never amount to anything, and I kind of like fell into like, you're right. And I had been married before, and that ended up in divorce as well. So it was like this pattern of everything I do is wrong, and I'm going to fail at everything I do. And I got to a point where I'm like, you know what? F y'all. F everybody.
Good for you.
I'm going to do what I want to do, and y'all are wrong. Like, I didn't have a problem. I actually think that I was above what they couldn't handle me, but it wasn't a bad thing. I was super intelligent, and they just didn't know how to channel it. Anyway, so I said, what I was doing at the time, I was training horses, and all my clients that had a lot of money were in real estate. So I was like, well, I want to have a lot of money. I tried the school thing. It didn't really work out very well. So maybe I should start doing real estate. And to do real estate, you should get your license, right? So I became a realtor, and I thought, well, if I'm going to do real estate, I should work with really rich people, and celebrities are really rich. So this was like a good plan, right? Like, this all makes sense, right? Some of my clients, I worked for one of the screenwriters for Wedding Crashers. I also worked with one of the characters on Hannah Montana. He was the brother. His name's Jason Earls. So I thought, okay, and that didn't, I missed the story on this one. So I was doing this, and this was actually going really well for a while. But do you guys remember like in 2009 when the market crashed? Yeah, I did too. So I was getting divorced around then, and it was really scary. So I don't have my high school diploma at the time. I didn't have college, so I didn't have a backup plan. I'd been doing real estate. It had been going really well, and the market crashed. And I just kept thinking, you work with rich people have money, so keep working with the rich people. When I was working with him, I hadn't done a deal at this point in a year, almost a year, and because people couldn't get qualified for loans. You guys remember this time period a little bit? He had 2 years left on the Hannah Montana contract. He had an over 800 FICO score, and he had a chunk of money in the bank. So I was like, no problem. Absolutely no problem. This guy's going to get qualified, no problem. The bank wanted 50% down. You don't put 50% down on multi-million-dollar properties. And it was my wake-up sign. So I was like, follow the market. So I was like, okay. So the market had already started to turn into REOs and short sales. And I was like, okay, so I should work with investors, because investors are now buying. So I started working with investors, and that was really fun. The problem was, I was working my ass off and they were making all the money. So it went from selling multi-million-dollar properties to all of a sudden selling $40,000 to $80,000 properties. And as an agent, we make 3%, and 3% at $50,000 is like $1,500, and however many months worth of work. I learned a lot. I became the go-to person. So I would find the deals, I would analyze the deals, I would then secure the deal, the investor would send me the money, we would then close on the deal, I then managed the entire construction rehab process and then resold the property. So it sounded really great, right? And it was really cool because I worked with all these people with a lot of money. I didn't even meet the people. They would just send me their money, I'd buy them deals, I felt so fancy. But then at the end of the day, they were the ones making all the money. So I learned a lot, and then I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gonna hire agents and build my own team, and they're gonna find me the deals, they're gonna analyze the deals, they're gonna secure the property, and then I'll bring the money people in, right? Does this make sense a little bit? And so now people call me the cash cow queen. So me and my small army of bird dog agents, we've done over 200 transactions to date. We're averaging 5 to 10 deals every single month, and the profit ranges from $2,000 to $30,000 per deal. We always have at least 30 plus deals in the pipelines. I have no office, I have no employees, and I am a stay-at-home mom. So this is my daughter, and this is actually right where I just got married. We have a cabin on the lake. It's over by Mammoth. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. And so my grandfather actually built it with his dad in the early 1900s. So I was kind of sentimental when we got moved there. But for me, and I'm into horses too. For me, it's like I want to live my life. And at the time, I was a single mom, and it was, I went from being scared to get divorced, scared am I going to have money to support my daughter, how can I do it all too, all I want to do is spend time with my daughter, and I want to be able to provide more for her than my parents have. Does anybody relate with this in the room at all? Okay, so it really put a fire under my butt to be able to make money because I was scared, so make the money to be able to do anything and everything I wanted, and have the time and freedom to spend with her. Her dad moved to Texas, he moved to Japan before he moved to Texas, so it was all on me 100% of the time, financially it was all on me, and obviously I did depend on my parents a lot, right? So it was all on me. So this is a deal I did. I got paid on vacation. I actually never ever saw this deal. This house is, it's about 2.5 hours from me. I found the agent. The agent found the deal online on the MLS. She analyzed what we could sell it for, and she analyzed the rehab costs and projected what we should purchase it for. She ran the numbers by me. They made sense to me. I said move forward with it. So we secured it for $65,000. I assigned it to a buyer for $70,000, so my profit on it was $5,000. I was not there at all. I never visited the property. And on this particular one, I was on vacation when she made the offer, and then when we got it secured through escrow and closed, I was still on vacation. So my whole point is it doesn't matter where you live or what you do, this can all be done remotely. All these transactions are done with a computer and a phone. So you guys can do this anywhere with whatever else is going on in your life. This is totally your life, you create it, you control it. Are you guys like this so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So how fast is quick cash? It's like stealing money from a baby. So this is somebody that I've worked with, and I'm going to let you hear from him because sometimes people think, well, Lindsey can do it, but it's different for other people. Okay, do we know why the sound's not working?
Oh, please. Couldn't fall back asleep. It did.
How you doing? My name's Cardinal Matthews. Bought the system, opened it up, immediately started going through everything. Took a few months for everything to get rolling because you're waiting on a couple of short sales and things to happen. I did everything as I'm supposed to do, exactly as the system says. And December, I had my biggest month in real estate ever. On December 9th, I closed the deal when I made $10,000 on December 9th. Exactly 2 weeks later, I closed out on another deal and I made $11,000. So December, I made $21,000 while most people are relaxing, chilling, not really doing anything. They're taking a month off. I'm out here following the system, doing deals with cash buyers here in Cleveland, Ohio, which is by far the hardest place to do real estate. So if you can do real estate in Cleveland, Ohio, you can do real estate anywhere. The system works. Brought a great product to a cash buyer, so now he's actually waiting on me to bring him more properties. I've been referred to other cash buyers now because I brought such a great product to the table. I got a lot of product lined up for a lot of buyers, so the system is designed to keep a steady stream of income coming in. So having a 5-figure month is an easy thing to do with this system for those of you who've never experienced what it is to make 5 figures in a month. So if you want to do deals today, get paid today, make cash right here, right now in this market with cash buyers, then you need to pick up the system.
So Carnell said, this stuff works. He did his first deal in less than 30 days, and he made $10,000. So that's why I asked who likes quick cash, 'cause, right? The second deal was 2 weeks later for $11,000. Cleveland sucks. It's definitely a lot worse than this market here. He said it was extremely easy. He didn't use any of his own money or his own credit, and he had no experience in real estate prior. So, fast deals, 30 days or less, right? What about in an hour? That'd be super fast, right? Okay, so this is another deal I did. This is in San Bernardino. This is about an hour from where I live now and about 20 minutes from where I grew up. And I'm telling you where these are located because you don't always have to work like right in your neighborhood. It's okay if you go out a little bit, and we'll talk more specifically about that in a minute. My yes offer secured this property after my cash buyer had his higher offer rejected. So I'm going to be talking about how to write up offers to get them accepted because it's extremely competitive. So I secured this property for $62,000. I assigned it to my cash buyer for $65,000, so my profit was $3,000. $3,000, not very much, right? But it took me an hour. That's a good hour, right? I was actually getting my hair done when this all went down. So my agent found this deal. I've never been to this property. Again, another one I've never been. Here's the thing, like, I don't want to see properties. Is anybody in the room that doesn't really want to see properties? You just want to make money? Some of you want to see properties. It's fun, right? At this point, I'm kind of like, I've seen enough properties. I don't need to see anymore. My agent, again, found this one online. This one is really fun. This was an REO, and she found it on the MLS. She went and checked it out. She ran the numbers based on what we estimated repair costs being and what we could sell it for. We decided our highest and best offer was $62,000. We secured it we submitted an offer for that. I already had a couple cash buyers that I know buy in this exact neighborhood, so I have people I'm already thinking about selling it to, right? So that I'm not like, okay, I got an offer, who do I sell it to? Like, I already have my list of people that buy this exact product. I called him or sent him a text. I told him the specifics. Are you interested in it? His response back to me was, how the hell did you get it for that price? I offered them $70,000. So that's where it's really important in understanding how to write up the offers to get them accepted. So he had his agent write up $70,000 all cash on the same exact property. The bank turned it down, and they took mine at $62,000. So he was thrilled, right? He actually saved $5,000 that his agent couldn't even get him the deal on. So it became a win-win for everybody. My agent won because they got paid. I won because I got paid. The seller won because they got the REO to go away. And and the other agent won too. So everybody won. Here's the other thing about this. The people will tell you, and they'll tell you this because they haven't done it. This was an REO that I assigned. People will say you can't assign REOs. I will say it's difficult, and 99% of them do not want you to do it. So we'll write up offers typically in trust, but it can be done. So for anybody saying it can't be done, this one was an REO that we completely reassigned, and it was written down that we were reassigning it, and I have all the paper included so that you guys can see what it looks like. That's cool, right? Is anybody in real estate long enough to know that's kind of a big deal? So I did that in an hour. So the secret formula, okay, you ready, you guys? So you gotta find cash buyers, and then you find the houses they want. It's really that simple. Like I like keeping everything really simple. So don't let anyone tell you that the economy's bad or no one has cash. That's just not true. Obviously, you guys are in Santa Barbara. You see lots of people have cash, right? So you guys are kind of in this little hub of some really extreme wealth. So I'm gonna. So one of the things I do is, your entire business is two different things. One of them is working with agents, and the agents are really going to be the foundation for everything you do, because the agents are what are going out, they're finding you the deals, they're securing them. They're pretty much an employee that you don't have to pay. You have no responsibility, no liability for, but you're a team, because they need you and they need your cash buyers so that they can make money and sell properties, and you need them because you need them to do all the research and find the homes and kind of be the expert in the market. And then you also need cash buyers, because cash buyers are the people that actually have the cash and the money. So you really need both of them. So what I do is I send out letters to known cash buyers that have at least $1 million or more in assets. In Santa Barbara area, it'd probably be 10 million or more, because our numbers are not normal. And I send out letters to them, a very specific letter that's personal and custom, so it's not like some spammy computer-generated letter that everybody else sends. And then I get phone calls in. Here's a phone call from a guy I started working with. I didn't answer the phone, but this is what the voicemail.
Hi, Lindsey. My name is David Simmons. You sent me a little flyer. Yes, I do buy properties. My biggest problem these days is I have too much cash.
That's nice, right? Yeah. He said his biggest problem is that he has too much cash. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a really good problem to have. Like, you get those voice messages, and you're like, yes. So here's my question to you guys: how many cash buyers do you need to work with when somebody has too much cash? Like, you don't need a ton, right? Like, I hear other investors are like, how big's your list? I have 100 people on my list. And I'm like, 100 people? Like, I work with like maybe 8 people. Like, but I know them. I know them. I know their wife. I know their kids. Like, I know them. I know where they live. Like, we go to lunch. Like, it's a relationship, you know? So I got on the phone with him. We talked. So what I'm literally doing is I'm helping them. I need to understand exactly what they want, what their needs are, and I'm helping them. So what they buy, where they buy it, the size, the square footage, what they don't buy, and the area. So he buys in a city called Paris, and he buys rental properties, lower to middle income rental properties, and then this is about 2 weeks later. I hadn't found anything because I wasn't working this market at all. So I then had to find an agent and get them on board and finding properties specifically for him. So this was about 2 weeks later. He called me back and left me this voice message.
David said I was calling. I thought I'd just check in with you, text you, and see what you had for me in Paris. If you found anything yet, just checking in. No need to return the call if you don't have anything. I just got $100 grand for a hole in my pocket, like buy a house.
Like, seriously, right? Like that's a good day. It's a good day. And he's great. You can tell by the tone of his voice, like, he's fun. So the biggest thing with cash buyers for me, and I recommend for everybody, like, work with people you like. Like, just because somebody has money, some people are jerks. Like, you know, work with people that you're like, that are like you, because you'll end up doing a lot more business together, because they have tons of money, and they're gonna give it to somebody who brings them a deal. And if they like you and you guys are more similar, they're more likely to bring it to you. So work with people that you like and that are most similar to you. And cash buyers are everywhere. Yes. And you guys can interrupt me too at any point.
Please, because this is the only chance you're going to have to ask questions. You can't do it on video. You're not a licensed realtor?
I am.
Do you have to be able to do
No.
what you're doing?
Really good question. So I am licensed. I'm a real estate broker. You do not need to be. I would actually recommend you not be licensed. I don't use my license at all. When you're licensed, you have like fiduciary responsibilities and legal things that are associated with being licensed. But you don't need to be licensed because you're working with agents. That's what I recommend. Have a bunch of agents you're working with. They're the experts in the marketplace.
Yeah, I have a question. I don't know a lot about this at all, but I was just curious. So if you bought a property and then you have a cash buyer that's going to buy it from you, and you made $3,000 on it, or not, I was wondering, is there other fees involved in that transaction, like escrow fees and all these other fees that are also kind of making that?
Really good question. So I'm not actually closing on the property. I'm wholesaling it. So I'm pretty much being paid for putting all the terms and conditions together. So the cash buyer pays that $3,000. It's an assignment fee.
Oh. Okay.
So I don't actually. So this is what makes our job really easy. When I say like that deal I worked on for an hour, I don't actually buy the property because that is a longer process and there are escrow fees involved. And then there's liabilities involved because what if somebody backs out? So I don't actually close or buy any of these properties. I fill out the paperwork, I get the offer accepted by the seller. So now we're in a legally binding agreement. This is valuable, especially in markets that are hot like these where we have multiple offers. You have 10 people trying to buy a property, you're the one who gets it. Guess what? You have 9 people that you already know that want to buy it, and then a handful of others that didn't even get their offer in on time. So what I do is I essentially sell my rights to buy the property.
And that doesn't make the seller want to back out because you're kind of switching over to someone else?
So there's a lot of different ways to do it. It's always good to disclose what's going on. So initially in the beginning, banks did not care at all, and that's what I was talking about. So what it's called is called assignments. Banks didn't care at all. Now banks don't like it a lot because a lot of investors and wholesalers started doing it. So if a bank specifically says we don't care, then it's fine to do. If a bank says we don't like reassignments because it's